Recently, PlayStation had an investor call with their investors, and of course, there was some tough questions that came out. One of them was about what the future holds for PlayStation, and of course, PlayStation executive responded with, the PS6 is at our top priority when it comes to future of PlayStation. The consoles isn't going anywhere. They're going to make a new PlayStation 6. That is PlayStation's thing. They want to be the console makers, and they're going to keep heading into it. A lot of people speculated that maybe PlayStation wasn't going to do consoles for very much longer, but I honestly don't see consoles going away anytime soon. Regardless about how you feel about this generation and how this generation has felt a little bit unsatisfying. There has been a lot of letdowns, buggy games, games that are incomplete, games that were just pure scams, literally trying to rip people off, and there's been a lot of bad things this generation when it comes to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and even the generation of the PC that we're seeing so far. But with that said, the consoles aren't going anywhere. There is going to be a PS6. There more than likely will be an Xbox of some sort next generation, with Asus rumored to be making their console. And speaking of rumors, there is a rumor and a pretty good source, which is Kelper, saying that there is going to be a PlayStation Handheld releasing after the PS6. That's pretty much going to be a low-powered PS5 and gonna have 32 cores, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a lot of other stuff that gives it advantages over the PS5 in some ways. Of course, this handheld isn't going to be as strong as the PS5. It's probably going to be slightly weaker, probably 10% weaker. PlayStation's goal is to be able to have the PS5 if a game comes out on the PS5, or even the PS6, and it's a low-powered version of the PS5 that you'll be able to play it on the PlayStation Portable that they want to make. The reason why I speculate this is because of the fact that Kelper also said that there's going to be the same architecture in the PS6 that there is going to be in the next PlayStation Portable, the PSP2, the PSP6, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's going to have the same architecture, only as strong as the PS5. So basically, if a game comes out on the PS6 and a developer wants to, or maybe PlayStation requires their first-party studios, to have a low-powered version of the game alongside. And rumor has it that PlayStation is already telling people to make a low-powered version of all their next games that are coming out, which also means if you weren't a fan of the PS4, PS5 cross-gen games that were available, you're gonna be sincerely disappointed, because I have a feeling that the PlayStation 5 is going to have a long lifespan. It's pretty much gonna be the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the PlayStation 6, which is gonna be like the PlayStation 5 plus whatever, plus 2.0. And I don't think that we're going to see the PlayStation 5 go away. I don't think we're going to see the PS4 go away anytime soon. This handheld pretty much guarantees that PlayStation will be making low-powered versions of their PS6 game, and that PlayStation Portable is going to have the same architecture, which is going to give it advantages with AI and upscaling. So if you want to play this on the go and you want to have 1080p at 60 frames per second with all the ray tracing in the background, the AI and a lot of the faster RAM is going to help with that. But it also means that there's probably going to be a lot of PS5 games and PS6 games that are going to be cross-generation for quite a while, which, to be honest with you, is good for everybody. I know a lot of people complained about God of War Ragnarok also being on the PS4, which I really don't think that got in the way of how God of War Ragnarok looked on the PS5. That game is probably still, to this date, one of the best looking games of this generation. The only game that I think looks better is Horizon Zero Dawn, and that also came out on the PS4. So I'm not sure, I know that Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S made a lot of bad decisions. One of those being was not putting in enough RAM in the Series S, and that's why it's having so much trouble with it. Kind of if it's on the Xbox Series S, it's going to be on the Xbox Series X. And I don't foresee PlayStation making a bad decision like that. It is rumored that the handheld has 16 gigabytes of really fast RAM, but in my opinion, it needs a little bit more than that. More than likely, these things are set to change in the future, so hopefully they up it. The PlayStation's been in the boat where, like, oh yeah, they announced the PS4 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then they see the competition, they're like, oh, let's raise it up to 16 gigabytes or whatever they raise it to. This isn't something new that PlayStation doesn't do. They've done this in the past. They've done this several times. This is more than likely just an early test, and I would say early test because I don't see this coming out till after the PS6, which, by the way, is rumored to come out in holiday 2027, which is quite a bit away, thankfully. But it also gives me something to look forward to. It means that a lot of people aren't left behind, and more than likely, a lot of these PS5 games are going to be on the PS6 and vice versa. So, like, PS6 is going to be on the PS5 and the PS5 is going to be on the PS6, and this is going to extend the generation even further for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, and it makes me look forward to the future because I don't like it when people are left out. I don't like it when it's like, oh, they don't have the money to get it, so they can't play. I like when a game comes out on the PS4 and the PS5. Like, it doesn't hurt anybody. It makes more money for Sony because it means that more people are going to be able to buy it, and it also means that your friends and other people aren't left out. So that makes me happy. Let me know what you think about this handheld rumor. Do you think it's beefy enough? Do you think it's strong enough? What do you think about the PS5 more than likely going to be this console that more than likely is going to live for a long time because of the handheld and because of the low stuff that we talked about? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and remember, you're pretty good.